Hey friends! Today, I've got a story to share. One full of heart and unexpected turns. I hope it moves you as much as it moved me. Ready to begin? Let's dive in. The sky was overcast that morning, matching the heaviness in Richard Hale's chest. Once a tech titan with the world at his feet, he now sat quietly in a humble roadside diner. Gone were the towering skyscrapers and luxury jets. This was a world far from his own. But comfort wasn't what brought him here. It was a promise, a final promise to his late wife, made before cancer took her away. To simply be a father, to at least try. Seated beside him was Nathan, his 10-year-old son, living with cerebral palsy. Nathan couldn't speak. Moving was a struggle, but his eyes, those bright, searching eyes, still yearned for connection. Richard, who had once addressed global leaders and advised nations, felt utterly powerless next to his own child. He stirred his coffee, lost in thought, pretending not to notice the glances from curious diners. Then a warm voice broke the silence. "Well, hey there, champ." A waitress approached, maybe in her early 30s, her smile sunny and genuine. Her name tag read Maya. Her skin glowed with deep mahogany warmth, and her eyes carried a kindness that felt instantly soothing. She didn't flinch at the wheelchair. She didn't look past Nathan. She knelt beside him as if it were the most ordinary thing in the world. "Want to try something fun?" she asked softly. Nathan glanced up at his father, uncertain. Richard paused. His instinct was caution, but something about Maya felt real. Grounded, safe. He gave a hesitant nod. Maya's smile widened. "Be right back." She walked over to the old jukebox in the corner, dropped in a coin, and selected a song. Smooth jazz spilled into the room. What happened next stayed with Richard forever. With a quiet playfulness, Maya returned to Nathan. "This one's a classic," she said. "Care to dance with me?" Richard's heart jumped. Dance? Nathan couldn't stand, let alone move rhythmically. But Maya didn't lift him or take control. She simply offered her hand and waited. Nathan's fingers trembled. Then, slowly, achingly, he reached for her. She accepted his hand like it was precious. And then she followed his lead. Every subtle movement, an inch here, a twitch there, she echoed with grace. It wasn't flawless. It wasn't practiced, but it was a dance. Real, honest, beautiful. The diner hushed. Conversations faded. Even the clatter from the kitchen stilled. People watched, not with pity, but reverence. Tears filled Richard's eyes. For a decade, his son had been pitted, tiptoed around, rarely truly seen. But now, in this moment, Nathan wasn't being helped. He was being celebrated. His face beamed, not from sympathy, but from joy. As the music wound down, Maya gave a playful curtsy. Nathan brought his palms together in a shaky clap. Just once, but it cracked something open in Richard's soul. Maya turned her gaze to him with a gentle smile. "Your boy's got moves." Richard swallowed hard, his voice caught in his throat. For the first time in years, he was at a loss for words. After the dance ended, Richard waited until Maya made her way back behind the counter. He approached her, still reeling from what he had just witnessed. "Why did you do that?" he asked, his voice low, threaded with sincere wonder. Most people won't even look at him. Maya looked up, her smile soft but knowing. "Because I used to be him," she said simply. Richard blinked, confused. "I was born with spina bifida," she explained. "Spent most of my childhood in a wheelchair. Doctors weren't sure I'd ever walk. Then one day at rehab, a woman I barely knew asked me to dance." She laughed softly, the memory far away but vivid. I thought she was out of her mind. But she told me, "You don't need legs to feel music. Just let your spirit move." And for the first time, I felt light. Like I belonged. That moment changed everything. Richard was silent. No one had ever spoken about disability with such dignity, such soul. She believed in me before I even knew how, Maya continued. And that made me start believing too. Eventually, I had surgery, years of rehab, and now I walk. Not flawlessly, but enough to dance when it matters. She glanced over at Nathan, now happily sipping his milkshake, his eyes still glowing with joy. I don't need wealth to feel fulfilled, she added gently. But I'll never pass up a chance to give someone else that spark. Richard didn't move. All his accolades, boardrooms and accolades. None of it had prepared him for this moment. None of it held the same weight as this truth. For the first time, he didn't see his son as fragile. He saw a child with a radiant soul waiting to be recognized. A week later, an envelope arrived at Maya's door. No return address, just her name written neatly on the front. Inside was a handwritten note and a check. For the center you dream about. So more kids can feel what Nathan felt. RH. The check was for $250,000. Tears brimmed in Maya's eyes. She hadn't even remembered mentioning her dream. A place where children with physical disabilities could explore movement, expression, and joy. A space that focused on what they could do, not what they couldn't. 1 year later, the Step Forward Foundation opened downtown. The walls were covered in vibrant murals, the floors echoing with music, laughter, and the soft thud of wheels and walkers on polished wood. On opening day, a quiet crowd filled the performance space. As the music started, out stepped Nathan. Now 11, he walked carefully with braces and a walker. But he walked, and more than that, he led. Maya was beside him, following his pace, letting his movements set the tone. Around them, a chorus of children moved, some on wheels, some with crutches, all united in rhythm. At the back of the room, Richard stood quietly. No reporters, no applause. Just a father witnessing a quiet miracle. He smiled, not the practiced smile of business deals. A real one, a full one. Because sometimes, a single act of kindness, a hand extended, a song shared, a simple invitation, can ripple through time and change lives in ways no one ever imagined. In a world obsessed with power and prestige, it's worth remembering. The most powerful thing you can do is let someone else lead the dance.